Okay, so we about to get into this good old read. So before we start the reading, I'm making this video. Um, so I have an individual who is thinking about committing suicide, and they want to blame me for that. So I'm going to tell you we're making this video. This video is going to have the date of the time to where it is recorded. And if you do that to yourself, I'm going to sue your family for defamation. Just keep that in mind. You ought to be ashamed of yourself because you know everything that you're going through is because of the decisions that you have made. Don't try to put that shit on me. So we got that out the way. So let's get into this read. What are the messages? What are the messages for whomever it may concern? What are the messages? Okay. So we have some cards that fell out here. So we have the card of the pioneer making a decision to illuminate a certain situation, meaning that it looks like somebody, because they have the clarity about who two people are in their life, they're getting rid of these people. These two people were trying to come together, work together, and build their reputation, but the reputation is shot to hell now. Okay? So, whatever they was working on, they're no longer working on it. What are the messages for whomever it may concern? What are the messages? So, that's one situation. I don't have anything going on with that. Sometimes the Three of Wands can represent like a indie film or a small project. It can represent experimentation. Okay, so whatever somebody is doing that puts them in a lane of their own, you know, whatever they're doing that puts them in a lane of their own. You see, you had these two people to where they thought that they was going to team up and create this imaginary competition for this person. But these two people have been exposed. So you have the High Priestess in reverse. So you have, so this is some type of spiritual worker. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? They don't know what they're doing. So this person is a scam. So if anybody is getting some type of work done from like a spiritualist, this shit is not working. I don't know. This shit is not working. This shit is not true. This person is not operating within intuition. They're operating in instinct. So they're not in tune with God. They think that instinct is intuition. Okay? So they're operating like an animal, meaning that when it comes to situations that cause for divine wisdom, this person shies away from that because it's too deep for them. You know, they don't go that deep. They're not that deep. So you definitely know that they're not a healer. So this person is very shallow. This is the type of person to where it's kind of like they dress a certain way. They dress a certain way and they express themselves through the way that they dress to be, it's like modern day fake ass spiritualists. Okay, So this is somebody, they're just like love and light and kumbaya and all that type of bullshit. You know, this is not so. This person is scared of the truth, and they are scared of the darkness. That's not a real spiritualist. Okay. So if somebody is dealing with this person, you need to know the signs. This person looks the part, but this person is not the part. This is not it. What are the messages for whomever it may concern? What are the messages? Okay, in the position of your crown, you have the Emperor, which is a very good place to have the Emperor. Okay, so before we get into that, you got the Two of Cups. You have the Six of Swords. You have the Ten of Swords in reverse. You have the Ace of Swords in reverse. You have the Ten of Wands. And you have the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, so the reversals are the past. So at the same time, you had to experience, it's kind of like your humiliation exposes the truth. Okay? My thing is, somebody was thinking about reaching out to you for some kind of so these are actually going to match up with this High Priestess in reverse. So this person, so you may have wanted to reach out to somebody, or maybe this person, somebody wanted to reach out to somebody because, well, I don't know. Is this for a man? Is this for a woman? Okay. So is the High Priestess a man? That's a woman too. So it just looked like somebody was trying to invite you somewhere. So the thing is that you have somebody behind the scenes who wants you to be at a certain place. So what they were going to do is that they were going to send somebody else in, to somebody they thought was going to be able to convince you to go with them. Okay? But they realized that that shit is not going to work. They wanted you to go with them because I feel like this person likes you. It's like they were trying to be slick and sneaky. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, be careful when people are always trying to get you by yourself. When people are always trying to talk to you alone. When people, you ever met somebody, it's just like a little creep. You understand what I'm saying? They always want to talk to you by yourself. They don't never want to talk to you in front of other people, but they always want to get you by yourself so they can talk to you, or they can try to, I don't know. And it's like this person is annoying because they're never up to anything good. They're always up to something bad. That's how demons operate. Demons always want to, right? They don't never want shit to be out in the open. They don't never want nobody to hear what they're saying. You ever dealt with somebody, they get on the phone, every time they get on the phone, they leave the room. They say they don't want to be rude, but there are times to where you'll notice they'll talk to certain people and they don't give a fuck about being rude. But when it comes to other certain people, they want to leave the room because they're lying about some shit. So this person has a lying spirit. So they don't operate in divinity. They operate based off of that animal. If this is a woman, she be chasing dick. I'm talking about she be running after it. Okay? Like, she crazy. That shit crazy. But at the same time, she's going to represent somebody else's demons. But it seemed like that other person got their demons tamed and trained and disciplined. Right. It's not about who you are, baby. It's about what you be doing. You understand? We all got a dark side. We all got a past. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, what's up? The question is, who are you? Who are you? And who do you choose to be? So I thought I would just put that in there because somebody needs to understand. Somebody needs to understand. This person doesn't understand duality. They try to operate in the hidden. You understand what I'm saying? They always trying to do stuff in the dark. It look like somebody got caught though. They got caught. They're just not there. It's not just something that exists. They're actually doing stuff. I believe it's these two people right here. So we're going to put that over there. So they went to a practitioner and got some work done on you because they want the truth, huh? They wanted the truth. They trying to understand why you so tamed, but you feel the way in which that you feel. Because if they had to deal with those feelings, they wouldn't be able to tame themselves. They would act on it and create a big ass mess. Tell him, tell her, we not messy over here. Okay? Somebody say, I'm not messy. Tell them I'm not messy. I know how to deal with how I feel. Tell them that you are a lot smarter than what they think that you are. In the position of your crown, you have the emperor. Strong as a missile. Your brain is strong as a missile. You people see what you want them to see. Now, because people was playing in divination, you may have had to let it loose. But the irony is that because with the Ten of Swords here, people want you to be humiliated. They want you to feel embarrassed. But you know your truth. You accept your truth. You just don't act on it. So they're trying to figure out why. Because you don't want to sabotage somebody else. Because secretly, you might be in love with them, right? Right. When you really love somebody, you think about their best interest. And at the same time, you have to think about yours too. And you have to stay protected. Because being in love will cause you to be vulnerable. And you may be vulnerable with the wrong person. And if an individual is unavailable to you, it's smart to learn how to deal with how you feel. Instead of thinking just because you feel something for somebody, you always have to act on your feelings. You absolutely do not. You need to think about shit. If you were to mess with this person, what are some of the consequences that you could possibly have to deal with? Are you willing to deal with these consequences? This is what I'm saying. People have to learn how to think beyond what they feel, because your feelings will get you in trouble. Not everybody values feelings. People don't find you intelligent when you're always going off of how you feel. And sometimes people want to teach you a lesson about being so vulnerable and being so open. You think that you're in love with somebody and somebody is in love with you, and the whole time they're taking your feelings for granted. People are cruel. You seen the movie Carrie? That the scary movie Carrie, right? Carrie was just a weird girl, just minding her own business. You understand what I'm saying? She looked at everybody else and she may have dreamed of a life to where she was like everybody else. That maybe she could fit in with people, maybe people could accept her and all this type of stuff. There was a boy, you know, it was so funny. They wanted to get together to make her think she had a chance with this boy. They made her the prom queen and all this type of shit. And what did they do? They humiliated her. So what did she do? She created a massacre. Right. So in every perspective within situations, you have to be thinking about every position. The position you're putting yourself in, the place that somebody else may be coming from, and then I don't know, me personally, I be thinking about all that. I think about all that. I'm smart. I'm not making a move until I know that I can trust. I know who I am. I accept who I am. Okay? So therefore, I have to be smart about who I let get close to me or who I let in, regardless of how much I may have a lot of love and feelings for this person. It does not matter. It's just feelings. I know that by now. Yeah, because you know, I have been mentoring under this samurai, and he gonna tell me you fall in love too quick. But even though he thinks that, and he's been sitting back watching and observing, he understands now. And he came to me this morning and he apologized to me. I appreciate that. I appreciate you for that. So anyway, when it comes to the Two of Cups, you are the mate to your own soul. So you don't ever feel like you need somebody to complete you. But at the same time, this could represent a connection. It is a healing connection. This is your soulmate. Okay, so whenever we deal with a soulmate, or it could be somebody that you are in a soul contract with, meaning that you're either married to this person, maybe you have a baby by this person, or if it's not anything like that, it could just be that you and this person have signed a contract with each other to be able to help each other to grow within yourself. Emotional independence is the goal. The Six of Swords is going to represent moving to a place of peace, but also clearing your path for moving in the direction of your purpose. Okay? So something is very overwhelming for you at this time, your day-to-day responsibilities, but like I always say, pressure builds character, and enduring builds character. And so, I mean, you are learning how to become more tolerable. So the more in which that you can tolerate, the less suffering you will experience, especially when individuals try to do things to try to humiliate you. It's kind of deep, ain't it? Right. So that's going to be the reading. We're going to end it there. Until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.